Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be going over another dead MacBook. This was brought to me after a wine spill, and I'll let you take a look over here. This is what happened after pretty much one day, from what I hear. One day. I took a Q-tip and some alcohol to it just to get an idea of how bad it was. They said it was intermittent, like sometimes turning on, and now they were afraid to turn it on, which probably means it wasn't turning on. And honestly, again, this is after cleaning what it looks like. Those joints around the 5 volt and 3.3 volt area, around the TPS 51980, are quite disgusting. Now, one of the unique and interesting things about this machine is that even if you want to do the right thing, which is unplug the battery so that the corrosion doesn't begin, because even if you get liquid on it, doesn't matter if the battery's unplugged and the electricity's not flowing through it. You can't, because the bottom cover of the machine is not held to the machine with Torx screws or Phillips screws or standard screws. It's using a special snowflake Penelope screwdriver, which means that you can't just go to Home Depot or your local electronics store and buy this. You need to buy it online. What does that mean? That means that by the time you get the screwdriver so that you can open your machine and unplug the battery, you've already had 3 or 4 or 7 days worth of corrosion set in, which is what happened to this person. Because they wanted to do the right thing. They turned it off, they unplugged it, they turned it upside down, tried to have a fan blow the water out of it, all that kind of stuff. But the right thing to do would have been to take the bottom cover off and get rid of the corrosion, or at least unplug the battery immediately so the damage doesn't happen. But the damage is going to happen. All they had to do is use a standard screwdriver like T3, and you could address this yourself. Anyway, so let's take a look and see what it is this board is doing. I'm going to turn on the power supply here. I'm going to set my power supply, be on the screen, turn on the Paul Daniels multimeter software that we all love so much here on this channel. Plug it in. See what we get. So it's taking 49 to 50 milliamps, which is actually means that this may have a chance of being saved, because usually when it's taking 20 to 30 milliamps, that means that PM Sleep S4L is missing, and getting nightmares about that one. Now, if we take a look at the schematic and the board view using Paul Daniels' amazing software, you'll see that this area over here that is corroded is responsible for 2 main power rails in the system, PP3V3 S5, and over here, PP5V S3. But it's also responsible for an LDO PP5V S5. And that is going to be right over here, PP5V S5 LDO. So let's see if any of those are present right now. So I'm going to click, figure out where they are. So PP5V S5. This is all the corrosion is in this area. The rest of it did not corrode. Even though there were liquid in other areas, there's not a lot of voltage going through those other areas, so they have not corroded yet. So if we check out PP5V S5 on C7505, see what we get. This is 0 volts. PP3V3 S5. According to the schematic and board view, we can find PP3V3S5 on a resistor located over here. Let's see if that's present. Zero. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, just common sense based, let's get rid of this stuff, shall we? Let's wipe this and start fresh. Let's remove everything that looks liquid damaged. Not even, Mike. Not even. Come on. Come on. Alright, you gotta go. You go. You go. Get out of here. This stuff looks like it's probably fine. That can just use minor touch-up. You're corroded. You're corroded. And I'll move that back into place in a moment. Alright, now this head over here looks to be severely damaged. And I'm going to guess that's where PP-Bus G3 hot, the main 12.56 volts, and the battery is coming into the chip. And I'm actually wrong. It's where PP5ES5 is going to come out of the chip. Either way, we're still going to have to rehabilitate that pad. And if it's not able to be rehabilitated, then we will just have to run a jumper. No big deal. No skin off my back. No big deal. How's everybody in the chat doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Alright, yeah, that pad is done for, so let's see. We're going to see if there's a nub under there in a moment. But first, let's wick away all that nasty old solder and put some new solder. We don't talk about the jumper from 2 nights ago, Donald. That never happened. We don't like to talk about that here. That never happened. Oh, you'll see soon, Seppi. The one time I buy an ESD safe tool, and this is what I get. See this shit? ESD safe? Fucking piece of... So annoying! I hate these things. Fuck this. There is alcohol in it. Where am I getting this alcohol from, John DeComo? Am I spitting on the board and my saliva is turning to alcohol? No! That is alcohol from this, which is still 33% full. Look at that. Look at that. There's alcohol. Straw reaches down that far. Straw reaches down that far. Ain't no excuse for this. I hate alcohol dispensers. I hate them. Terrible. All these all-spec alcohol dispensers. I've been fighting these things for 7 years now, and they keep winning. How much is renting a billboard for you across from the Apple Store? You know what? That honestly, like, you say that as a joke, but that's not a bad idea. Because even if it gets to the point where I'm the only person here, you know, we got some people that work here that have that live with the elderly, and they're at the moment staying home. Even if we get to the point where literally I'm the only person here, I could still do stuff like this. I could still do my job. And my God, the people that are showing up, there's not a lot of people showing up, but the people that are showing up, they are panicked because they know that they have this is it. Yeah, you'll be staring at the screen when the UV gets applied. So Stephanie Pauline, nice. What's up, Stephanie Pauline, nice. Yes, you will. So the people that are showing up are fairly high-strung. Like, when am I going to get it back? Is it going to work? Where's my data? Because this is what they're working from. This is it. It's not like they're going into the office to get their computer, or that they can work on someone else's. Can't even go to the Apple Store to get another one. It's make this thing work or they're screwed. So the people that have been showing up have been a bit more high-strung. And understandably so. I get it. They got a job to do. Is there now a shutdown in New York starting Monday? There is, but the definition of essential businesses, I've seen that website get edited several times. So what is or is not an essential business is kind of up in the air. If you tape signs in the Apple Store door, Apple employee is going to take them down. You know what? I'll leave that up to the comment section on this video once it's done. Should Lewis put a sign on the Apple Store that says if you want your device fixed, come to 141 West 27th? Is I actually did ask the city. I wanted to pay for a permit to do a live stream in front of the Apple Store. And I'm not sure how many people heard this one. So I was actually going to pay money. I wanted to do a live stream in front of an Apple Store. And it was going to be, on the side of because there's a little park right in front of the 9th Avenue and 14th Street Apple Store. I wanted to have a little sign. And we were going to do free board repairs to anybody who showed up during that time period. So if you had a Macbook with some liquid damage and it was something where I could fix it then and there, we were not going to charge you. We were just going to fix your board, tell you what's wrong with it, and we wanted to have a little sign that said, second opinion, ask here. And then I figured out that you do need a permit for what it was I was looking to do, and it was going to be, I think, something like $3,000 a day. And I thought, all right, game. That's what, I'll do it. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, so I'll do it. So then I called about getting permission for it because there was a different permit needed than the one that I thought I needed. And then they put me on hold, and then this woman says, wait, so what's your last name? And I said, Rossman. And then I get put on hold. They come back from hold, and I could hear someone laughing in the background. I said, no, you can't do that. So what I'm imagining happened is that they Googled me, because that's about the amount of time it takes to Google my name and do a little bit of scrolling. So I'm guessing what happened is they Googled me. They knew exactly what it was I was looking to do and said, yeah, no, we can't have that. But I thought that would have been really fun. This is something that I've always thought would be really fun to do. Because that's the thing. How many people... I only see the people that decide after they go to the Apple Store, and here it's going to be $1,500 to $2,000, that then did their due diligence and research and decided to come here. But I have no idea how many people go to the Apple Store and then just wind up going home and never doing anything. But if there was a sign and a little booth outside that said, second opinion, ask here, and I had my microscope and my soldering tools, and I could show them on a little screen what everything looked like, using my microscope camera and all of that. I'm just kind of curious how that would have turned out. Maybe more people would have an idea that this is indeed a viable option. Because again, I only see the people that do the research to figure out that it is a viable option after the fact. Don't see the people that you never meet. Yeah, I was gonna. So I am kind of curious if. But yeah, sign outside of an Apple store that said, need it fixed, come here. It's tempting. Because on one hand, it could be seen as something that's being done in bad taste because they closed due to the pandemic. But so I could see how someone would say that's being done in really bad taste, and how people would then overreact to it and say you're mean, you're evil, you want people, Apple doesn't want people to die. That's why they did that. Do you want people to die, Lewis? Because that's what people do. Politicians can't make the types of advertisements that they do, smearing people, if people didn't eat it up, But the reason I think it could be valid in this case is because this is something where I've literally already applied with the city for the ability to do this before anybody, 99% of the population, knew what a coronavirus is. First thing we're going to do is scrape away at the trace so we have something to solder to there. So this is where the chip is going to be creating PP5ES5, the LDO. That's going to happen over here, and it goes to that cap. Now, I'm not sure if the pathway that it takes to the other side of the board or any other place it's going happens over here at the point that broke off or over there. What about appealing the rejected street permit? I don't think there is an appeals process to that. I'm pretty sure there's not, but if there was, I sincerely doubt I would have time for it. I mean, as fun as that is to do right now, I'm behind as hell on just repairs for my own store. I don't know how good it would be to waste time on the appeals so that I can then admittedly waste time doing what is pretty much a troll. Fun troll, but... Okay. So now we're going to get a wire. I'm going to use a little bit of a thicker jumper wire than I usually use here because this is a main power trace. $3,200 new cases in New York, please wash your hands. I don't believe that they're new. And I'll explain to you why I don't believe that those cases are new. You tell me what you think. If you want to get a test in a lot of areas, you need to know someone that tested positive, right? So you need to know someone that tested positive in order to get a test. But that doesn't make sense because there are a lot of people that may be sick that cannot get a test because they need to know someone that has tested positive to get a test. So this is a very chicken and the egg scenario. So a lot of these people that are testing new, it's not that they're newly diagnosed. I mean, not that they newly caught it, they're newly diagnosed. Yeah, so because now the testing kit is actually available. So these people may have been sick for a month or 2 months. And it's only now that you're figuring out that they were sick. But that's the part that's a real clusterfuck here, is that for many people, even if they're showing symptoms, they're not able to get tested because they can't show that they were in contact with someone that tested positive. Which, to me, is just an excuse for the fact that they can't test people. Like, just be honest and say, sorry, we don't have any tests. Sorry, we got no tests. Our medical system is just total fail right now. No tests. Instead of putting together these rules. Eyeing to put Trump stimulus money to use. Would enjoy a stream of what equipment you sell to do repairs and what applications would be best suited for. Thank you. Newly reported / confirmed is what I meant. Okay. Yeah, I get you. I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that because a lot of the news is when they report it, they say it like it's these people just got it. And that drives me crazy. Hey man, been a bit since I caught a live stream. Lewis, Rossman, Apple Repairer, Cat Servant, and Freedom Crusader. Thank you. Alright, got that in there. Got a nice little jumper. You know, I have some videos on equipment that I've used in the past, but I'm going to be updating that a little recently since I may be up recommending a different hot air station. Something came out that seems very similar to the Quick, for much less money. Then there are certain other tools that I've used differently. But yeah, I mean, if you're getting any sort of stimulus money from this, put it toward... Unless you have repair business coming in already, I'd probably put that towards things that are more, what's the word I'm looking for? More immediately crucial to living your life. Watching your videos makes me stay at home. Now you're essential. You're welcome, says Ben. So I'm hot airing here just to make sure I get the flux in the hot air gets rid of the rest of any corrosion there, but also it's going to make my jumper wire fall into place where it's supposed to be. And we're going to take a second look at this at an angle to make sure that everything here is in its right place, because it looks like those two pads are shorted, but it's actually just dirt. But don't worry, the dirt is going to come off in the ultrasonic cleaning. Now the next thing is I'm kind of curious to see where else on the board this PP5E S5 goes. We have to see if it's actually connected. So it goes, yeah. So according to the board view software, PP5V S5 is going to go to right over here. So now I'm going to figure out if there's still continuity there. Because remember what I was saying is I don't know if the pathway, so PP5V S5, I don't know if the pathway to that is from that solder pad over to there, or that solder pad that's destroyed over to over there. But the only way I'm going to find out is by beeping with the multimeter. By the way, everybody, just enjoy yourself a nice little bit of motion sickness over there. I work for WSV NTV in Miami. Kinda is my life. Huh. What's WSV NTV? For people with the multimeter probes, not allowing them to Google at the moment. So let's see if this works. This does not go beepy beep. We will be running a second jumper because this is not beeping. More importantly, for some reason, my good friend Paul Daniels' software is showing that I'm in voltage mode rather than resistance mode. But yes, this is not beeping. So PP5ES5 is not making its way to the other section of the board. So PP5ES5 is not just here. It's going to this resistor over here, and then over there. I'm kind of curious, if I attach it to here, will it also be attached over there? Let's see. One way to find out. So let's see which sections of this... let's try this again. So PP5ES5 is going to be over here. Okay, this beeps. So this beeps from here to here, right? But PP5ES5, but this doesn't. So the disconnect is between here and there. So I can, instead of running a wire from here all the way down there, I can run a wire from here to here, and then PP5ES5 will show up over there. So let's do just that. And since that is a shorter, may be able to get away with a smaller jumper there. Because that's not the main delivery to the rest of the machine. Actually, wait, no, it may be. Yeah. Oh, that pad is destroyed looking. I don't know how much I trust putting a thick jumper over there. Alright. Yeah, a thick jumper may just rip that right off of the board. Okay, so we'll make do with a higher gauge jumper over here. I want the wire to remain insulated. Go around like this. And now we arrange this. Get rid of the excess. Come on. Bye-bye. And then I'm going to wind up greening this down. But it's going to go better than it did the other night. We don't talk about the other night. See, the main thing is I didn't want that wire going over those 3 probe points on the way over there. Not great routing for an essential power line. This is better. Alright, now after this, you're going to see that it does connect over to the other side, other section. Just get everything in place there. And place, and place. Okay. Now, when I turn on the Paul Daniels software, and I go to make a resistance measurement between here, see? Now we have power going through where it's supposed to. So, yeah, we got some junk to clean up over there. The ultrasonic cleaner is going to get all of that, though. Now, watch. When this thing gets turned on, you're going to see that the fan spins and then it works just fine. So I'm going to plug this in, and there's a fairly good chance, I would say a damn near 99.99999 chance that this takes 500 milliamps and turns on. So let's see if that's the case. Are we essential? Ahem. Ahem. Whop, whop. We are not essential. Oh, man. Non-essential service. Oh, man. All right. Well, is PP5V S5 present? It is. Nice and stable. Is PP3V3 S5 present? .1 volts. Ugh. All right, PP3V3 S5 is not present. Now, is it not present because it's not being enabled? Or is it not present because there's a short circuit to ground because the CPU died when the U7501 sent 12 volts to the CPU? One way to find out. So PP3V3 S5 enable is going to be on pin 21 of our U7501. That's 4th pin from the bottom on the left side. And the enable's there. All right, now we figure out if PP3V3S5 is shorted to ground. And if it is, that's going to be a big ouch for our board and for our customer. $277 ohms. That's not broken. Yeah, for a low voltage rail, that is not shorted. If this was a 12 volt rail, yes, but on a 3.3 volt line, particularly one that's going to be going to the CPU, that is not short circuited. We're missing something simple here. So we have some more corroded probe points. And I'm wondering, this one has a complete hole in it. What are you for? You're P5VS3VBST. Okay. Oh, that's where this is going to go to this. So you don't really need that now, do you? Because it's not going to the other side of the board or anything. Wait a second. I put that wire to the wrong nub. Son of a... piece of... Oh man, I'm dumb. Can we pretend I didn't do that? Can we pretend I didn't just do that? Alright. Let's see what happens now. Ahem. Alright, here we go. Come on, give me 500 milliamps. Cold passed. Indeed, I did something really stupid. Alright. That was fucking dumb. Alright, so take a look before we show that this works. So on pin 2, that is actually skip select. So what I did is I sent 5 volts to skip select. And skip select is it's probably going to skip something, like the part where the computer works and it turns on and the customer is happy. You don't want to skip that. You don't want to skip that. So what I was doing is PP5ES5 shows up here. The chip makes PP5ES5 on pin 29, right? It goes to that capacitor. From that capacitor, it goes here. And from there, it goes to this other section of the board. Now, the connection between that capacitor and here was broken, as was the connection between that capacitor and there. So this was beeping to here, but it wasn't beeping to here. So I needed to reattach this to this, because this wasn't beeping to there. So I reattached this, but I sent 5 volts here instead of sending 5 volts there. Whoopsie daisy. Anyway, I'll show you. It's fine. It'll work just fine. It'll work just fine. You know why this is happening? Because this particular customer asked, so how do you do it? I'm kind of curious. How does this work? And I said, oh, I'll send you a video of it when it's done. Don't worry. You'll get to see how everything is done. Yeah, you can watch the whole process. And now they're going to see me sending 5 volts to random shit. Maybe we can edit that out. That's what the power of editing is for, isn't it? That's what editing is for, my friends. So nobody has to see that. This is what we call editing. You don't have to look like a dumbass. You just edit. Selectively. We don't make mistakes. We edit. Alright. Do you boot? Apple logo. Bada bing. Cover this so that you can't see the person's name. May boot slow because I don't have the right I/O board plugged in. It has booted. Alright, so a lot of you like to see what the board looks like after ultrasonic cleaning, and here it is. I have my little happy wire over here, and I have my chip. So this is what it looks like when it's all done. Isn't that pretty? It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so we're going to put a little bit of green stuff. Alright. Check it out. This is what it looks like after the ultrasonic cleaner. We just put some of the UVH 900 UV mask on the board that we sell at store.rossmangroup.com. Keep that area with that wire nice and safe. And now I'm going over it with that UV pen. And when I go over it with the pen, it's going to harden that green stuff over the wire and protect it. The wire is already covered in enamel, but I didn't want the wire to make a straight line to its point. So I routed it around, which is why we have this green stuff here. And now you'll see that the wire itself is encapsulated and protected. You Put a little bit more right on the end. Because that wire is very small and sensitive. And cure it on there. Hard as ice. It's nice and protected. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.